Hello there, I'm Joe Ruggiero, and welcome to my podcast, Inspired, and the people who inspire me. I have a guest that you are going to be familiar with. Her name is Dee Ann Lee, and she's my faith advisor. And I think right now we can all use a little more faith. And she always has words of wisdom that I love to follow. So what's on your mind this morning?
The same thing as it always is. Come in, have breakfast, enjoy yourself, go out and talk to people, and especially people who are sitting by themselves, people that are not comfortable in their own skin, just to lift them up, let them be themselves, let them find their way.
Well, I've observed you because you inspire me, and I love the way you break the ice, so to speak. The way you'll go up to a complete stranger and say, I don't know, what do you say?
I think you're right. I like to talk to people. We've got a lot of people where I live, and it's an opportunity to reach out to a whole lot of people.
But you never were that way. As a kid, you were very shy. When did you come out?
At some point, I had to grow up. And it's just taken a long time to get here, but that's what I've been doing for the last several years.
Can I ask you your age?
You can. Do you want an answer, really? I'm 79.
Well, you are an inspiration to all of us. And I watch you with people who are down and out, maybe health reasons, or maybe they've just lost a loved one. And you are able to come to a meeting place with them. How?
Well, the first thing I have to do is listen to them. Hi, how are you? Yes, that'll come. But first you have to listen to their response. And you'll see where they are, how deep you can go to help them or offer to help them. A lot of people don't like to be helped, so I don't go in there saying, I can help you with this. They have to come on their own that way. But I'm trying to awaken in them into a life that's satisfactory to them. Mm-hmm. A good one. Maybe they're alone now for a reason and it's scary to them. Maybe they're alone now and they're feeling like they're just left out of everything. I don't think anybody should be left out of everything. I think everybody needs to come in as they're comfortable doing so.
Right. I have never done this before, and I've always exercised all my life since I was 15 years old. My wife teases me about it. But I've just taken up chair yoga, and I just am so impressed with what it does to one's soul. I just think moving around is so important when you reach a certain age. You told me yours, I'll tell you mine. I'm 84.
That's quite nice of you. Thank
I couldn't believe I wound up with 84 years behind me, but I've just enjoyed the instructor for chair yoga and have enjoyed the lessons that I've learned from her just to keep your body agile.
Well, you need to keep your body agile and you need to keep your mind agile. They all need to be working in force together, if you will. And it's pretty easy to stop and talk to someone and that I don't know. And it's, I see that you're new here. It's nice to visit with you. I hope you're having a nice day today. And this is really a nice place. I've been here for a long time. It can go into what kind of conversation I want to make with them, depending on what their response is to me.
Yeah. Well, I can remember someone saying to me, you have a face that only a mother could love, but you have a face that brings trust to people. I don't know what it is, but you, I guess for the lack of writing sincerity across your forehead, people relate to you. And it's usually the people that are looking for answers or are looking for a friend.
But it's so easy to do for me.
Yeah.
They come to me sometimes, I go to them sometimes. You make friends as we make friends as we go through the world. But it's just much better when we go through the world with someone else. 2 or 3 friends, at least close friends, would be really nice, especially for people who are sad or lonely, or they don't know what to do next, you can stand beside them and just be that person next to them for a while. And it can only go for maybe 15, 20 minutes. It could go for an hour. It could go for, we'll see you tomorrow. It's whatever they can take. Because I'm very much a believer that you can offer people things, but they need to take it out of your hand.
Right. Well, I think you learned that with a certain Japanese
Yes,
tradition.
indeed, and that was several years ago, and I've been using that ever since because it means something to people. It's not like, well, here, I have to have that. It's no like, you can take it out of my hand, it's okay.
Right. You know, it is so interesting to me how many people don't see or respect their surroundings. And I've mentioned this before. Here we are at the Calabasas Country Club. We're surrounded by beauty. We're surrounded by athletes. But when you look at the green grass, when you look at the trees, and now at this time of year, it's spectacular on this course. And I just watch you like a kid in a candy store when you come here because you're just clicking pictures and you love to take pictures.
Pictures bring brightness to me. I mean, a couple of days ago, we had a fantastic sunrise. I took a picture of that. You just can't keep me away from taking pictures, but I also share those pictures, and it's usually, wow, not because of the picture I took, but of what that sunrise was looking like. And if we could get everybody to see the sunrise instead of the sun going down at the end of the day, I think they'd be a lot better off.
Well, I think, too, your love for religions and churches and for people who are involved with such is very, very interesting to me because you've seen many different services, you've seen many different religions and church services. You're very familiar with the Bible. Someone made a comment about you the other day and said, no one knows the Bible better than Dee Ann. I don't know if that's true.
Hadn't heard that before. Thank you.
But I think that what is your feeling in terms of those people who attend service?
I also lead a Bible study, and the people that attend it are not familiar with Bible studies. It's been a challenge to me, which I'm trying to live up to, because they don't have any background at all on this, and I'm trying to build them up, but you can't force that on anyone either. You can add things that maybe are easier to swallow than others, ideas, the way of living, that kind of thing. But it has to be their decision, so it can take a while to happen. And that said, I was in my Bible study earlier this week, and there was one person that came and that I hadn't seen before, and he did know his Bible. He could talk to me with it, and the others can't, and I'm sad for those who can't. You know, it's not that you have to know your Bible, but you have to know who you are. You're God's child. There's nothing better than being God's child. And I don't care what religion you talk to about what religion you practice. We're God's children.
How are we going to deal with the evil that exists in the world? Because it does exist.
How did Jesus deal with it? He dealt with it too. And the people before him, Moses, all of them, they all had something going against them, fighting that they had to fight. It's part of the earth, unfortunately. Not the earth, it's part of the world.
Good and bad.
The good and the bad. And of course, we try and separate ourselves from the bad as much as we can and lean into the good, the forward things, the marriages, the going on picnics together, whatever it is, being family reunions, doing things together. We need to keep it personal. Need to keep it personal and yet not hold it on to ourselves, but share it with others. Share that personal growth with others.
As we go about, and this is the season of gift giving, you can give a gift of generosity. You can give a gift of love, devotion, friendship, fellowship. It doesn't cost you anything. And I think that that is so important in this day and age, to reach out and touch someone. Not literally, but I mean mentally.
Right, right. No, I totally agree with you. People need to feel needed. What am I here for? I don't have any purpose. Well, yes, you do have a purpose. You might not have found it yet, but you have a purpose here. So be on the lookout for something that's new, that you just did this, and it's like, oh, wow, I didn't know I could do that. And let it grow, let it bloom, let it blossom.
I think that's important in raising children, too.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
They need to know that they have a sense of value, and they have a sense of, I can do this. I can do this. And they can. It might take time. It's not necessarily a light switch that goes on and off.
Gosh, it took me 60 years to find what I wanted to be when I grew up. But I found it.
Well, I've had the same experience, different things that you and I have been involved with, but that all of a sudden it kind of just blooms. I mean, I was not raised in a church. My parents didn't go to church, so I didn't go to church until that one day when I had an aha moment that this beautiful scenery around me where I was at that moment didn't just happen. And that's where I started with, oh, there's more to life than this.
Well, you know, when I was with HGTV, I can remember producing and hosting with my daughter a show called A Natural Christmas. And it was, how many things can you gather, whether it be shells or whether it be pine cones or branches, thanks to my neighbors. I love to trim their evergreens.
Of course.
But it's so much better to have natural things that you can celebrate the season with, and not a lot of cost involved.
It doesn't have to cost money.
No.
It just has to go where your heart is. If
That's
your
right.
heart is on this, then focus on whatever this is and do something with it, not just for yourself, but for the people around you.
What do you think of smiles?
I think smiles are terrific, which is a good thing because you're showing me one right now.
They go a long way,
They do.
don't they?
They do. And conversely, when you get somebody who's angry for some reason, it doesn't bode well for anybody, not the person looking at it, not the person doing it.
Well, you know, there is a gal here at the club. Her name is Shirley, and she always greets you with a nice, big, wonderful smile. And how nice to sit down and have a server that isn't dishing out attitude, dishing out cheeriness.
As it should be. We should be lifting each other up because all along our pathways, there's going to be a little divot there. There's going to be a little mud hole over here or something. There's always going to be something. But it's not the end. Okay, fine. Darn it. I got my shoes wet yesterday from the mud. Well, that's okay. Go home and clean the shoes and go out again and don't step in that mud hole.
This is going to sound like high school, but I can remember the lunchroom, and there was always the new kid on the block. And you would look over there, and they would be eating their lunch by themselves, and always wanting to go over and, where are you from? What brings you here? Why are you new to the community? Would you like to, play ball, or would you like to do something? I think that's good.
I think it's hugely important because it gives that person that's all by himself or herself a sense of, oh, I'm not going to be alone. I've got somebody who just said hello to me.
That's right. I think of my granddaughter because she has been the prime example, the poster child of going to a new country, starting a new life, trying to make friends. And she just does it naturally. And it takes a lot of strength, takes a lot of gumption, and especially when you're dealing in another language. I talked to her yesterday on the phone, and she said her teacher paid her a compliment. He couldn't believe that she was American. because she had no accent in the way she speaks. But of course, her father is French, so he speaks to them all the time in French. But her older sister still has a California accent. But for some reason, she has just gotten into the culture.
That's a personality thing as well, because my husband was German.
Right.
So raising two girls, they learned German too, just because we didn't speak German so much in the house, because I wasn't terribly fluent at it yet. But it took on one of them. She went to Germany once. She went with her grandmother, and Grandma was showing her where Dad had been born and all these kinds of things. And she came back and she loved it. She thought it was great. The other daughter wasn't as happy being there. She went over there. It was nice. It was fun. It was with Grandma. This is great. But she was a language person. She spoke English. She didn't speak the other languages.
Right.
So she was an outsider there. She didn't ever want to go back. And yet the first thing my daughter did when she graduated college was a one-way ticket to Germany. And she's lived there ever since.
Well, I think it's very interesting in terms of languages. People have skills.
Yes.
And I, unfortunately, don't have language skills. I've tried it. It doesn't come easy to me. But I do find that when I'm in a foreign culture, and I have been many times,
Sure.
You get into good morning, bon dia, or buenos dias, and you can greet them with, I guess it's referred to as pidgin language, but if you can speak their language, they're so much more ingratiated to you.
Yes,
And,
there's something in common then.
yeah. And cultures, too.
Absolutely. It's different there than it is here type of thing. Yeah,
Right.
definitely. You have to, it's like when you go to somebody else's house and you've never been in there before and they do things differently. It's no different. It's just, it is done differently, but it's not a different scenario than what you're just saying.
Right. Take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Some houses believe that that's the way it should be.
Right.
And in Italy, never ever have an espresso with a pizza.
Guess that's not allowed, huh?
Or have pineapple on your pizza. They don't understand that. But it's these little cultural things that you kind of get the sense of. And just so proud of my other granddaughter who goes to university in Italy and has tried to, she now has a tutor to learn the language. But she has a real ear for languages. And I think that's great.
It is. It's going to get her through a lot of things if she wants to progress in a place where they're speaking that other language.
Communications.
Yes. It's all about communications. That's what life is all about.
Right. And don't be afraid to tell somebody, that looks great, or you've got a great sense of humor, or, I love your hairdo. Or,
Yeah.
and
Compliments go a long way.
absolutely, absolutely. And we as human beings need it.
Yes.
I think we do.
Yes.
We cherish those moments.
Well, those are times together in a way that we're complimenting them on something that, wow, that looks really nice on you. Or, wow, I've got something similar, but it's not like yours. It's better. Just
Right.
complimenting someone makes them feel better.
And the people that make scarves now,
Yeah.
hand paint them, and also are making jewelry, it's wonderful to be able to share that with somebody. And it takes a little bit of pride that you made it,
Exactly.
as good or bad as it was.
But you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the way I feel about kid art. That's why I always have my grandkids' pictures hanging all over my house. And I go through the trouble of framing them professionally.
Yes.
And that means a lot to that child. And I love kid art because it's so pure.
Yes. It's a good good call on that one.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is pure.
And I know I've told you this story before, but I'll repeat it because maybe there are people that have not heard it. But the great silent screen star, Mary Pickford, her mother said to her, Mary, you've got to smile at the people who follow you or are your fans because it's not going to cost you anything and it's going to mean so much to them. Mary Pickford smiled at me, you know.
Well, you've just about tied up the package on what the whole theme of this conversation's all about.
I know you came into it thinking, what is it going to be? What is it going to be this time?
It's always a surprise with you.
But you always inspire us. And I know that was a gentleman who's no longer with us that used to call you church lady. But you gave him comfort. I really believe you did.
I think I must have, or he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have given me anything. But
Yeah.
even calling me church lady, that was not a slur. It was
No.
it was a nickname.
Yeah.
I recognized that right away too. He was a sweet man.
And you didn't object to it.
No,
Some people will say, my name is Dee Ann, not
it
church.
is, but I don't need to go and flaunt it out.
So where are you now in terms of reflection? What have you learned from life?
Learning what life is all about with other people, I think. Sharing the good, holding up on the hard, once time. Just helping them makes me feel good. If I can be of any minute help to them, to think outside the box that they're controlled in right then maybe they're moving forward. I might not see where they're going or how they're going. I might not be told whether they're, since you told me this, then that's happening and this is good. I don't necessarily have to hear that. I just want them to know that they can march forward and they can be happy with the people around them. Even though there might be strangers, they won't be strangers for long if you say hello to them.
Well, I think one of your lessons, and certainly I've been to your Bible studies, and they aren't just Bible studies. They are more account. And that this woman came in Italy just from the expression on her face that there was trouble there.
Yeah, it's easy to spot.
And I think could have been a psychologist in another
That's above my
life.
pay grade.
Well, maybe. But you're intuitive. That's the word.
And I don't purposely look for that. I just see people and then I kind of know where they're coming from. And if I don't, I start talking to them. It's real simple.
Well, the experts at MIT did a study about clairvoyance and I guess the sixth sense. And they agreed that there are people that are gifted with that. But on the whole, they're chairman of the boards and people from the Mediterranean countries. And why? Because they did a study that the chairmen of the board, although they have all these people around them helping them in their tasks, that when it comes to the final decision, the chairman has to make the decision.
Yes.
And he has to have some kind of gut feeling. And I think that that's true. And people in the Mediterranean regions are very intuitive. And I've even learned that from my grandmother, who I called Big Nonny.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet.
But she had great intuition. And she would always say, I forgive, but I never forget. And I think she tucked that in the back of her brain. She was gracious and accepted.
Why do you think she had that reason why?
I don't know. She lived a very difficult life. Had 3 marriages. It wasn't easy for her. She was married to a very well, and his brothers kept the money that my grandfather died when he was only 38 years old. And she had to exist by the crumbs that he gave her for the cookie jar, is what she called them.
Yeah.
But he was very successful. And when they found various accounts that were his, she took them and invested them properly. And she was an amazing woman against all obstacles. Just amazing.
But aren't there people out there that just don't know what to do? I don't know what to do. I'm kind of, I don't have a focus.
Right. Listen to the universe.
Yes, right now the focus is pretty negative. Well,
Right.
not pretty, it's very negative. But we're here to lift it up, to do the best in our little circle. It doesn't have to be for the whole world. It can spread however far or near it needs to spread. But we need to keep each other up. That, okay, we've got this going on, that's going on. Look at all the wars there have been in the last year. And we can't change. We can do something if we're able to. Maybe give money for people to go over there and protect the people. I don't know. I mean, we've got
I always
all that
go back
happening.
to that same hymn, let there be peace on earth, and
Yes.
let it begin with me. And
Amen.
I think that any short thing that you can do, or small or
Yes.
insignificant,
Yes,
leads to a bigger things.
totally agree.
And
that-
when you mentioned Mother Superior, or
Mm-hmm.
Mother Teresa rather, I'm thinking of my education.
close.
But she was superior.
Yes.
And dedicated herself to helping people.
And as such, she was an example
Yeah.
for those underneath her, that this is how we should be doing things.
Yeah.
Be nice to people, be good to people, respect them,
Right.
help them. I'm sure she had all those qualities.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to share before we leave this wonderful?
I'm just
Table.
grateful to be here. I appreciate you having me, actually, because it helps me dig up some of the things from my past as well as
Yeah.
my present type of thing.
You're my faith advisor. What can I say?
Uh-oh. I come with
You're
a
my
warning.
Mother Teresa.
Well, that's sweet. I appreciate that. But I'm
Thank-
not Mother Teresa, but that's okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
And thanks
having
for
me.
sharing.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Thanks.